Twitter follower Espera asks me this. From what I see, after a number of subscribers, suddenly a channel starts changing, usually after getting a play button. Any theories on why? By the way, you should totally follow me on Twitter. It's the best way to interact with me. Now then, I could tell you that I do have some theories, and this has even happened to me. There are two possibilities, or more. But what are they? So first things first, what is a silver play button? Well, it is this. It's an award YouTube sends to people who gain 100,000 subscribers, and it is the first big league tier marker as far as YouTube is concerned. The YouTube community itself has gone further with milestones. There's the 100 subscribers milestone, then 1,000, then 10,000, then 50k, 100k, 150k, 250k, 500k, 1 million, 1.5 million, 2 million, and from then on it's every million until you reach 10 million, and then it's every 5 million. Anyway, as far as YouTube is concerned though, the tiers deserving of awards are 100,000 where you get the silver play button, 1 million where you get the gold play button, and 10 million where you get the crystal play button. Or diamond. I think it's diamond. Your number of subscribers by itself does not dictate how much money you earn. Views, view length, and engagement do. But only views where an ad plays, which is why ad block is detrimental, but that's for another video. And the more views and subs and engagement you get, the more you get paid, but it's on an exponential scale. Meaning if, for example, your channel is 20 times larger than mine, monthly views-wise, then that would mean you should receive 20 times the pay, right? Maybe, but it's actually closer to 60 times more. It all depends on what tier you are, and it's a bunch of complicated algorithm stuff, and again, that's a tangent I'll dive into on another video. So here's my story, and I assume that it's very relatable to other YouTubers too. As my sub and view count grew, so too did my earnings, and eventually, the earnings reached the point where I could start working more part-time instead of full-time at my day job, to focus more on YouTube. Eventually, when it reached the point where if I were to spend my time at my day job working on videos instead, I'd be earning more money, I finally made the switch and did YouTube full-time. For me, this was just before getting the play button, if I remember correctly, like 94,000 subscribers or so. You see, if at 100k subs and half of them would watch every video I put out, and I'd put 20 or so videos out per month, that's 1 million views, and 1 million views equals about $1,000. $1,000 isn't much, but it's enough to pay my bills and put food on the table, so at this point, around 100k subs where YouTube by itself was paying for my needs, I figured out I didn't need my day job anymore. It's nice to have some extra spending money on things, but if I were to use that time at my day job to work on YouTube videos instead, I'll grow more and eventually make up for my losses, and that is exactly what happened. Soon enough, I got the play button in the mail. It's like a badge, a trophy, an achievement, and not those dopey participation awards schools are giving out these days. A real, you actually accomplished something with your stupid video making hobby award. A you can now make this your career award. It gets into people's heads. This was the moment I finally decided that I am a YouTuber. I will live and breathe this brand, or else I will fail. Because that's what happens. As a YouTuber, if your life does not revolve around YouTube, your channel will not succeed in the long run. This is why channels change when they get the play button. It's around this time people finally make the plunge into full-time YouTube, which often can make or break them. Either their channel will benefit from this, and the added time they have to put towards more videos will make them all the better. But more often than not, the opposite happens, and their channels start falling for it. Falling. I just merged failing and falling into one word. That's how hard they fall. And they could fall for a number of reasons. a very huge number of reasons. Either living and breathing a brand is too much responsibility for them and they get worn out, or they get a bit lazy, like, YouTube is paying the bills now. I have a bunch of stupid followers who will watch whatever garbage I put out, so why not put out whatever is easiest and is still passable? Or they let their status get into their heads, they get egotistical, and their personality starts to shift. They start using I a lot more in videos and speaking highly of themselves. They may delve into the more corporate side of things, study what makes videos popular, or what makes videos work. For example, YouTube likes longer videos, especially videos that pass the 10-minute mark, and bonus pass for passing the 15-minute mark. So from then on, this YouTuber may make darn well sure that the vast majority of their videos are at least 15 minutes long, even if it means adding in a lot of pointless stuff. This fluff, from the other's perspective, may be irksome, and it may appear that the channel is changing, it's getting fluffier. Especially if the fluff is egotistical stroking self-insertion. And it's especially irritating when you're talking about yourself suddenly in a video that has absolutely nothing to do with you. Like you're making some tutorial about how to set up the soundproofing foam. And then you just start talking about your cat. And yourself. Or like, I am excellent at baking cakes. I studied it in college and blah blah blah. I used to suck at it. I used to suck at making cakes. Remember that? Of course you do, because this is the best and only cooking show on YouTube. Thanks so much for being a loyal viewer. They learn to use certain language in their videos. It makes their viewers like them more because it strokes their own egos too. It's one thing to say thank you at the end of a video, but it's an entire other thing to spend a minute or two of each video praising the viewers for making the right decision and watching me, the best cooking show on YouTube. You know how pop music is extremely corporate and soulless? Like, let's take the age-old Baby by Justin Bieber, for example. Look at these lyrics. They are so empty and repetitive. And it took an entire crew of experts to create it. Not musicians necessarily, but psychologists and engineers. They have studied what makes people tick, what makes them like music, and then they design a product to fit those. Pop music is not art. Pop music is a product, part of the machine. And the same can be said of many YouTube channels. It starts at the time of the silver play button. Now you are here. Your job depends on how well your videos do this month, and competition is fierce. You need to get every advantage you can get. So you start studying on how to make your channel better. Longer videos, exclusively clickbaity thumbnails, and titles like all caps lock all the time, neon green. I'm describing myself right now. You start praising your audience all the time and boost your own ego to make them think that you are awesome. You start building a loyal, sheep-like following, adding more and more links to the ends of your videos, and not just to show off more of your channel, but lots of polls at the ends of videos. And lots of incentive to get everyone to click your links, because that also helps boost your channel on YouTube. Keep this up and eventually you'll hit the gold play button, and it will be in no time. And at this moment you can either keep going on, still being somewhat yourself but with a poppy edge, or you can go full corporate. And at this point you can likely afford to hire someone to run your Twitter page for you, make them retweet dank memes all day. You can now afford to hire full-time writers and editors, plural, crews of people. So at this point you hardly have to do any of the work yourself. Your videos, thus, will lose their soul. But, hey, you'll rake in the dough! And this isn't to say that every YouTuber with millions of subs and a crew of people working on them is soulless and corporate and cold. Just look at Vsauce, for example. There are plenty of great examples. I could even see Rhett and Link. Their stuff's pretty good. But more often than not, your channel goes from being inspired, creative, and awesome to being corporate and cold. It may look and sound better than ever from a technical standpoint, but it's no longer art in any way, it's a product. You're pumping out video after video, your sheep-like fans still follow you, but you start to lose everyone else. People start saying, I prefer old you, and start leaving. But you are still making more and more money. You start making brand deals and get sponsorships that pay over $100,000 for a single video. Good for you, I guess. You're rich, but at what cost? Most of these things only apply to major YouTubers, channels with multi-millions of subscribers. Yet, I still call this the silver play button curse because that's where it all starts. And it was even affecting me. Some of you may remember a few months back I had a melancholy breakdown where I needed change. I even contemplated suicide for a moment because I caught myself. I noticed that I was becoming, this channel was becoming what I feared most. Corporate and cold. I was spending more time responding to sponsorship deals and coming up with ways to make easy videos to put them into. Easy videos like top 10s and basic fact list videos with no soul. I was spending less and less time interacting with my viewers and I felt trapped. I had to push out these products of videos frequently or I'd lose my job. So no longer did these videos have any soul. There was no real originality in a lot of them. Only a few videos I did now and again throughout that time felt even vaguely satisfying to make. I needed to change, even if it hurt my channel, and it did hurt my channel for a good long while. But I finally got up and asked if anyone could spare $1 or $2 for some Patreon support, and then Patreon made up for the lost views. But more importantly, I am happy making content again, and I love it. Though making awesome content as a passion product does not stroke the fancy of everyone in the circle jerk, which is why, more often than not, the soulless product-pushing channels succeed, while the people who are actually passionate about what they do fall to the side. Though, thankfully, that's not always the case. Back when I did get the silver play button, I thought this was the first step to becoming a YouTube millionaire. If I keep at it and start studying on how to make videos all more viewer inclusive, I'll be rich. But now that's not really a goal of mine. I don't want 10 million subs. Even 1 million seems like more than enough. I just want enough money to be able to make the content I enjoy, and also live comfortably while doing so, and have a decent video budget. Meaning right now with YouTube ad rev, plus Patreon supporters, plus sponsors, I'm okay. Would being a bit more comfortable be nice? Yeah. But I prioritize making content that I am passionate about over being so comfortable in living. Like, for example, that last Pokemon video, my goodness, that took me 80 hours in 1 week to make. Hopefully it'll be worth it. But anyway, this has been Lockstin, and I am proud to say that I managed to break the silver button curse after months of depression. But have you? There's still time. I was thinking for artistic effect of punching this really hard and smashing it, but I don't want to hurt my hands. And I actually like this. Not only because it's a symbol, a badge, a trophy of my achievements. It's like the only trophy I've ever gotten in my life. But also because it symbolizes all the dang depression this put me through. Ugh. But the depression I overcame. And you can too. If you're a YouTuber that has gotten this and feels the way I did, you can do it! But the first step in doing it is admitting that you are it. I'm always here to talk if you need. Follow me on Twitter. Yeah, that's gonna be the end of this video.